This is the Fifth Estate, coming to you from the Fort Hall School of Government in Nairobi, Kenya, and Professor Mutahingunyi. Echoes of War. Was it necessary to ban this play by Butere girls? And was this play a bait that the state fell for without realizing it? If it was not a coincidence, but a deliberate provocation, then it is the work of an evil genius somewhere. It worked. In intelligence strategy, this is called provoked overreaction, and this is how it works. First, you accuse the state of being paranoid, even if it is not. Then you bait it using a provocation. If it overreacts, you confirm that yes, the state is paranoid. Then, you accuse the state of being afraid of art. Then you provoke it with a play called Echoes of War. If the state overreacts, you confirm that it is afraid of art. And just like that, the state becomes a character in the play it tried to erase. This form of psychological games on the state can only be the work of an evil genius. One more thing. Echoes of War is a subconscious message being sent. The 2027 election will echo the 2007 election where war became the currency of negotiation.
Yes, the 2027 election will be an echo of the 2007 election, and the drums of war are already beating. They started with Gachagua accusing Ruto of sending goons to church last Sunday. Then he compared this to the Kiambaa church incident in the 2007 violence. Was this a provocation? And is it possible that Gachagua hired these goons to attack him in church and then create a narrative that revives the Kiambaa incident? We have no idea. But if the echoes of war are ringing, how should Ruto react? We have a reference from history. After the First World War, France swore that the Germans will never, ever invade their country. And so, they built a wall along their border with Germany. They called it the Maginot Line. It was a work of genius engineering built by the best brains in France. But there was one blunder. They built the wall with the last war in mind, not the next war. When the Second World War happened, Hitler and the Germans went around the wall through Belgium. The wall was rendered useless, and they subdued France in only 6 weeks. What is our point here? Methods that worked during the last war will not work in the next war.
What worked during the Gen Z provocations will not work in the Butere girls fiasco. But we have a question here. Is it okay for school children to stage a play that inspires echoes of war? This is free speech, all right, but not responsible speech at all. In 1980, 2 criminologists conducted an experiment. They placed a beautiful car in a dingy street in town. For months, they went to check if the car was okay, and indeed, it was intact. Then, they took a rock and broke one of its windows and left. Few weeks later, they went back. All the windows and the lights in the car had been broken. The car was literally vandalized. From this experiment, the researchers came up with the broken windows theory. When the windows of the car were intact, nobody touched the car. But when one window was broken, the rest of the windows were broken and the car was vandalized. The small signs of disorder, like breaking windows, encourage further disorder and contribute to a political breakdown. The disorder of Gen Z's protests encouraged the Butere girls fiasco. And so we ask, should Ruto fix this growing frenzy of disorder, or should he wait for the next war?
Disorder is a virus. When it starts, it becomes infectious. You cannot stop it. And this is the problem. Ruto can only stop this virus of disorder by changing tact. He cannot use an old map to go to new lands. And he cannot build a wall like the French with his eyes on the old war. He must focus on the new war. The country is contaminated with negativity from the core and to the core. And the echoes of war is one of the viruses. A virus that takes us back to 2007 when Kenyans craved for war. In 2005, Mzee Kibaki was exactly where Ruto is today. He was unpopular because of taxes. Kenyans declared that Kibaki must go, and his 2007 re-election took us to the brink of civil war. The 2027 election will be an echo of the 2007 election. The appetite for war as a currency for negotiation is high. And the Gen Z protests were the first drums of war. Final question. As Gen Z burned Parliament, why did they burn the office of the Chief Justice? What was her role in the Finance Bill of 2024? And why vandalize her office? This did not make sense. But this is the nature of war.